So you've decided to au pair, you're doing this thing, and you're now looking for host families, and you're trying to figure out which one is right for you, which one is the perfect fit for you. And I have a little advice in terms of questions that you can ask. Hey guys, it's Gugu here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm very lucky to have you. If you are a regular subscriber, thank you so much for being here, and I hope this video brings value to you and that you enjoy it. So today, as you can probably see by the title of the video, we will be talking about questions to ask your host family during the interview phase, the matching phase, all of that, right? Without further ado, let's head right into the video. So there are so many questions that you could ask your host family, like so many questions. But what I will say before I even get into this video is that you never know a person until you live with them. Like, you never know how good a match you are until you live with them. So essentially, you'll never know until you move in and you live with them and you see what it's like to live with them. People can sell you online, people can sell you over the phone, people can present themselves in a way that is most favorable for them over the phone and online and whatnot. So you never know until you live with someone and you are there with them all the time. Like, you just never know. So yeah, take everything with a grain of salt, but also, just because you never know, it doesn't mean you should never be prepared. Okay, pray about it and prepare for it, and that's on period. Okay, so I would say ask as many questions that you can ask about mainly how they do things day to day. Now, don't ask about how they are when they are the best version of themselves, but ask, when it comes to host parents and the host kids, ask about their characteristics, how they solve problems, how they deal with problems when they arise, how they discipline, all of those things. Those are character revealing questions, and how they handle those will tell you how they will handle when things come up between you guys as well, because things will come up, right? Things will come up. This is a hard job emotionally, not physically taxing, but emotionally. Au pairing can be very, very taxing. First and foremost, a lot of videos will tell you, like, a lot of people will say, oh, like, ask about this in the first call, and then ask about that in the second call, and then ask about that in the second call. I say, if you have time, right? If you have a lot of time before you're deciding, before you're planning on coming to the country in which you want to au pair, which for me was the US. If you have a lot of time, I would say, okay, then take your time with the families, take your time finding families, but don't waste time, right? You have to have a list for yourself of non-negotiables. Like, these are the things that I'm not willing to waver on right now. And that list, you may find it will change when you get here. It may change as you experience what it's like to actually live it out, in terms of what's important for you and what's not. But at least you have to have that as the starter. Have a list of what you will not settle on when it comes to a host family. And whenever you interview host families, ask those questions first, so that you know whether or not it's going to work, whether or not the deal breakers are there, right? And when it comes to non-negotiables, always involve the kids. Like, when I tell people have a list of non-negotiables, I think people a lot of the time will think, oh, non-negotiables for me, like, this is all about me. Remember, you are here to work, and you are here to be with the kids, and you are here to be with the host family. And as much as they market the au pair experience as travel and getting to know people and cultural exchange, 90% of your time, meaning from Monday to Friday if you have weekends off, or from Monday to Saturday, or from Monday to, whatever, a lot of your time is going to be spent with these people. A lot of your time, I want you to really internalize that. A lot of your time is going to be spent with these people. So your non-negotiables should not just focus on what you're getting out of it, but it should also focus on what you will be experiencing with these people. So in terms of a relationship, do you want a relationship with your host family that is strictly professional? Do you want the kind of relationship where you do your work and then from then after school is after school type of thing, after work is after work, you are not eating together? When you want to do your own thing, you do your own thing. There is no like ina ete situation, give and take. The English runs away sometimes. So you need to decide whether you want that or whether you want to be part of the family, and you need to realize for yourself what the implications of that are. There are pros and cons to both. If you want to be part of the family, if you want to be considered as part of one of the kids, because essentially that's what it is, and sometimes that's annoying. I won't lie. Sometimes it's annoying because when they view you as one of their children, they treat you as one of their children. And so if you're someone who's seeking independence, that may be not a good situation for you. You need to decide if you're okay with sharing a bathroom with the kids. If you're not okay with sharing a bathroom with the kids, me personally, that is a deal breaker for me. Like everything else, it's fine, but I don't want to be sharing a bathroom with your kids. I just need my personal space, right? But some people can deal with it. Some people, for them, it's fine. So things like that. You need to decide if you want parents who are strict when it comes to their discipline. Again, pros and cons to either one. Or if you want parents that aren't strict. For me, the deal breaker was there has to be rules in place. I don't want hippy-dippy parents. There has to be rules in place. Another deal breaker for me personally was that I want to be part of the disciplinary actions. I want to have a disciplinary role as much as I have a bigger sister type of role. So, the kids have to be able to, I have to be able to have my own rules with the kids, and they have to be able to follow those rules. Obviously, kids are kids. They're not going to listen to everything that you say, but most of the time, if I say naughty corner, people must run. People must go to that naughty corner, that type of thing. So you need to decide if you want to be part of disciplining the kids, or if you're like, I don't actually like, the disciplinary stuff. Like, I just want to have a good time. I just want to call the parents and be like, fix your kids. These aren't my kids, type of thing. So you need to decide for yourself in terms of those types of things and how they discipline as well. The gentle parenting is a big thing here in the States, where if a kid does something, you talk them down a ledge, you don't punch them. That's up to you if you can handle that. I'm reminding you throughout this video that 90% of your time is going to be spent with these people. You're going to travel, yes, on weekends. And the weekends honestly feel like 2 seconds, I'm not even going to lie. But you're going to have your fun time. You're going to have your alone time, or you should. But 90% of your time is going to be spent with these people. And when you come here and you realize how much $200 is, and how you have to pay taxes on the 200, and how hey man, like not 200 but the 190, what most families pay 200. So let's stick with 200 because it's easier. 10% of that will probably go to taxes. Like, when you realize all of those things and you realize how much you're working for and how much work you're putting in, the least you would want is to at least have a good relationship and to have a good flow of things, because once that is not good, the wages are gonna seem even smaller and way more like not worth it. So you need to realize all of those things. You need to at least be in a good, healthy host family situation, okay? Anyways, so all of those things you need to consider. So let's start with the kids. I'm going to throw around some questions that you can ask when it comes to the kids. I'm not going to cover everything obviously in this video, but when you have these interviews, obviously it's more of a conversational type of thing, and so you're not going to be sitting there being like, okay, question number 1, this. Question number 2, this, because they're also going to have questions for you. You're going to have questions for them, and it's going to be a nice talky things, but you're going to bring things up, right? And so once you have your non-negotiables, that's good, because you cut down all the families that aren't going to work for you, or that you think aren't going to work for you, so that you can focus on what you think will work, so that you at least start on a better footing, right? Then when it comes to subsequent interviews, or you talk more or whatever, or you finish everything in the same interview, I don't think it matters. Me personally, what I've noticed is that if it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You're not going to have 3 interviews face to face to figure out whether or not it clicks. You know what I mean? Like, you like them, but you don't like them, and you know that within the first 15 minutes of talking to them. You know what I mean? So let's go on to the questions about kids that you should ask. So you should definitely ask about the number of kids. Me personally, I just think that for the amount that we're paid versus what we do as au pairs, I think taking care of more than 2 kids, like intensively taking care, not like, oh, you drive them around here and there. If you're making food for them, if you're doing all of the au pair duties, laundry, cleaning up after them, if it's more than 2 kids, like your primary care, I don't care if a family has 6 kids, right? But you can't be taking care of all 6, right? If they have 6 and maybe your primary care is the 2 youngest ones, that's fine in my books, like that's okay. But if it's more than 2 kids that you're taking care of, I definitely think that it's unfair. Au pairs are on the cheaper side, on the less expensive side of childcare. Childcare is very expensive in America, and so we are the more affordable option. So if you're taking more care of more than 2 kids for $195.75 a week, I mean, up to you, I guess. But for me personally, I think number of kids is important, and I think 2 kids or less is about the right number, right? But again, depending on the amount of work that you have, leading to schedule. The kids' schedule, you need to know about it. Like, what do you need to do with the kids? What do you need to do for the kids? What does your schedule look like around, you know, working with the kids? Are you driving them? Are you not driving them? Are you making food for them? Are you cleaning up after them? How old are they? What can they do? Are they independent? Like, so many questions can come with the kids' questions. You need to ask about the kids' diet. Some of these kids out here don't eat chat. Like, they really don't eat. So you need to ask about that. You need to ask about the kids' allergies. There's a big thing here where you're not even allowed to send kids with peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because there's peanut butter allergies all around, and it's a big deal. So you need to ask about that, like, what do the kids eat, what don't they eat, because that affects you as well. Most of the time, whatever the family eats is what you eat, unless you have an outside apartment or you're picky like that. So you need to ask about their diet. I mean, if all they eat is leafy greens all day every day, and you like your burgers, you need to ask, will that be a problem, and such. Like, can you eat certain things around the kids and whatnot? Like, food is actually a really big essential integral part, so ask about that. Ask about the kids' personalities. What do the kids like to do? What are they interested in? What do they like to spend their time doing, especially if you have younger kids, because you have to keep them entertained. So ask about what they like to do. Do they like arts and crafts? Could you do crafts with them? Could you play with them? Do you play soccer? Are they boys who like to do, you know, more active things, or are they girls who like to play dress up, or are they girls who like to do more active things? Like, you need to ask about all of that. There's so much that you could ask about kids. Like, just ask as much as you can, right? When it comes to you, ask about, I think important things are location. Ask about location, where they're situated, what things are around there for you to do as a young person, as an au pair. Ask about the car use, the gas use. Who's paying for the gas? Am I paying for the gas? Is the family paying for the gas? Am I paying for the gas if I use the car for personal use? Am I paying for the gas if I go outside certain territory, certain lines? Like, you need to ask about those stuff. Is the car there? Is it personal use? Is it shared use? Me personally, after having experienced both, having a car, not having a car, unless you are in a city, and when I say city, I mean within a city, like New York City, like Manhattan area, you are there, it's walkable, it's fine. If you are in Washington DC, if you are in downtown LA, if you are in downtown, if you are in a city, like in a hub where it's walkable and you can do things, like, I mean walkable between. Unless you are there, you need a car. A shared car is better than nothing. Okay? Shared car is better than nothing, I'll tell you that much. As a person who's experienced both having a car and not having a car for personal use, shared car is better than nothing. You need a car. Unless you are in those hubs, as I told you, like you are in a downtown busy area where things are possible to be done without you having to walk too far or do too much. A car is needed, right? Okay, so you need to ask about all of that. You need to ask if the car has a curfew. There's so many questions you could ask about the car, like, yeah, so much. And then about yourself, like, where's the room located in the house, in the attic, in the basement. Those both have their implications, pros and cons. If your room has a separate entrance, you need to ask if it's a suite type of place where you have your own kitchen. You need to ask, will you be eating with them, will you be eating alone? There's so many things that you could ask, like ask questions about day-to-day life so that you can get a picture of whether or not you could fit into their day-to-day life, because these people are a unit. You are the person coming from outside trying to fit into it. And so don't think that they are going to change the way that they do things or their operations just because you came. Don't listen to promises. Me personally, that's my personal advice. Don't listen to promises unless it's already there and it's in place and it's in practice. Unless there's already a car. Unless there's already a gym membership, I don't know. Like if they're promising you things, don't listen to that unless it's like a family that's just arrived in the area and they're going to get things and whatnot. Otherwise, don't listen to promises. Unless it's already there, then just stay away. Unless the car's already there, unless the gym member, like, they shouldn't promise you that they're gonna get things, they're gonna do things, because you're only there for a year, and they know this too. They're very much aware of that. And you also need to think, if you were the host family, would you do all of that for someone who's not going to stay forever? Like, you don't even know how long you're going to stay. You could go into rematch, it might not work. Like, there's just so many intricacies, and you just need to think of it in the most basic way and straightforward way. If they did not change anything, if they were who they are right now, you know, just like in like romantic relationships and friendships, you don't fall for someone's potential. You shouldn't, at least. And you shouldn't try to change people. It's the same thing with your host family. Like, don't fall for the potential of, oh, they could do this, or oh, they said they could do this for me, and they could do that, and they could do this. Especially if they've had past au pairs. If they've had previous au pairs and they haven't done that for them, what are the chances, right? Which brings me actually to the previous au pairs. Ask about the previous au pairs. Ask if you can talk to the previous au pairs, and please talk to the previous au pairs, right? And when you talk to previous au pairs, a lot of the times you have to read between the lines, right? Ask poking questions at the au pairs as well, and try to read between the lines, because we can't say everything as the previous au pairs. We can't tell you everything just now. We tell you all of the negatives, and then jiggy you become besties with your host, and now I'm the enemy after trying to help you. You know what I mean? Next thing, now you are becoming besties on my name. No, your previous au pair, I spoke to her and she said this and this and that, and this and this and that, and this is why the match ended, and this is what she didn't like. So at least me, if people ask me, I tell as much of the truth as I can. I won't lie, but I won't be the most transparent, especially on the first call, because we don't know each other, okay? But try and find as much information that you can from the previous au pair about the family, about how they do things, and about how they handle conflict. Very important. Ask about that. You need to ask about them as people. Their political views, their religious views. Will they allow you to go to church if you're not Jewish or Hindu or whatever? If they're agnostic or if they're atheist, would they allow you to continue to practice your religion while living in their home? Like, very important one for me. Are there churches nearby? Like, there's so many questions that you could ask. Essentially, what I'm saying is ask as much as you can. If you have a lot of time before you are due to leave, ask as much as you can and take your time. Really take your time. I don't think you will ever regret taking your time. Don't rush things, and try and choose the best family that you feel is best for you, and be willing to compromise on things. You won't find the perfect family. Perfect family does not exist, but the perfect family for you will exist. So try and find a compromise so that you get what you want out of the experience, but also be able to perform and do the things that you need to do to the best of your ability, to the advantage and benefit of the host family. Yeah, I think first and foremost, the thing that you need to establish is chemistry between you and the host family, and be able to gauge if you can live with these people, if you can like these people enough, because again, these are the people that you will see most of the time, and these are the people that you will spend most of your time around. So make sure that you pick well when it comes to at least personality. That is my advice, and that is about it. That is the end of the video on my side. If you have any more questions with regards to this, you can always message me on Instagram. I'm always available to answer some questions. This was just my opinion. This was just me sharing what I think. I'm not an official representative. I'm not an ambassador or anything like that. So don't ask me specifics when it comes to, I don't know. Just don't expect too much. Like, I'm not getting paid to do this. This is just out of my good heart, helping you help yourselves. Okay, anyways, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did happen to enjoy the video, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and share the video to anyone who you think it may help. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.